Hello, hello, you beautiful soul. So I had a really silly, oh, that rhymes, a really silly message come through for a hot potato. Okay, just now as I was starting to get into the energy to channel fully this message, I was just getting like, this is a hot potato, right? And maybe you have been dropped like a hot potato, or maybe you drop yourself like you're a hot potato. I don't know what that was about, but I was just like, that is too funny. I can't not share that. But it also ties in with the silly energy, I guess, that I was feeling whenever this was coming through, which I'm no stranger to silly. I actually, I do a lot of strange, just like things. I speak and say all kinds of weird things and do all kinds of silly things just throughout my day. I'm kind of like my own party of one, I'm like a party of one, just in my world, whatever. So I was sitting with Spirit the other day and I was eating some fries, right? I was eating some potatoes and I was hearing this message about haters coming through. 121 as I look up, hearing this message about haters coming through. And me and Spirit were vibing, and I was like, haters are gonna hate, and potatoes are gonna potate. And I was like, no, you didn't. That is, if that is not the most country thing that came out of my mouth. I said, haters are gonna hate, and potatoes are gonna potate. And I was like, Spirit, what does this mean? What does this mean? And why am I saying these things, right? I'm just sitting in the house by myself, chilling, vibing, and then I'm like, haters are gonna hate. Yes, this is true. But what do potatoes do, right? What does this mean? This means grounding, right? This is grounded energy. Potatoes are grounded. So the energy I was getting was, or the message that finally came through was about how you have successfully grounded into 222 as I look up, into your soul. You've grounded your soul. And oh man, first you had to awaken it, right? Like first you had to just fly way off the handle. Who knows? But you were gone, right? You ascended and now you have grounded into this energy, right? And so a million examples I could think of where maybe I shared something or chose not to share something because I knew that the person I was talking to was going to get it or not. And if they didn't get it, did I want to put myself in a position where I had to listen to their limited beliefs, thought patterns, whatever, which would then, you know, just be reinforcing them in my subconscious mind. It's like, no, right? You're at the point where you're just like, you're not really putting yourself in these positions. And if you are, then you accept it and you learn from it. And you're like, yeah. Move along. What I was seeing was just potatoes, right? I was like thinking about the potato and the grounded energy and being able to ground and be the potato, right? But still be the soul. And I was just thinking about how delicious potatoes are. I love potatoes. Yes, I haven't met a potato that I don't like. I can tell you that much. I have not met one that I don't like. And you're a potato, right? And so if you're vibing with me and you're, finding my channel and you're resonating with me, you're a hot potato and I love you. You're amazing. You're beautiful. You're needed. And what was really cool is that I actually mentioned this to a client and friend that I worked with yesterday. And I was telling him about this message that was coming through and how silly it was and just, sharing. And in the session, it was just such a high frequency session, high vibe session, right? Like this client, and really it's just another 444 as I look up, just another vessel of God, right? Has fully like seen himself and integrated, right? And so we were really just having the session to co-create. You know, we were just like as equals, and super cool, high vibe, high frequency session. And as a medicine person, I learned early on to eat something like, you know, potatoes or something grounding after something like a session like that, right? Where you're just really high. Eat something that's a little bit grounding after your session. And usually light workers or, you know, shamans, medicine people, might get a little hungry after a session. So yesterday after the session, after speaking about it, I had somebody bring me some food. So, and there was fries in there, and I was like, yes, because I was just talking about this, right? And I was just saying how grounding potatoes are when we eat them, right? And it was just further confirming to me just the message, right? So I'm like eating the potato, yeah, like eating my fries and just doing the happy food dance, right? So that message was coming through, like the happy food dance. And I'm a happy food dancer. I love food. I love this experience here, right? I just really enjoy this human experience, and food is and when you have some good food, you know what I'm saying, like you just can't help but move to celebrate and the victory of this fine, you know, creation. So the message I was getting was about being in the present moment, right? And that's truly the grounding that I was seeing. And the being in the present moment is so I don't know the word for it. It's like crucial, but I don't even know if that's the proper word, but it's so important for collapsing timelines, right? For integrating past, future. I just saw 717, I was looking up, into the now, right? And when the more and more people that shift into the now moment and exist in the now moment in their bliss. And I was getting this message about being fully embodied, right? The soul in the body, and peace in the mind, and being present and living, yeah, like I said, integrated and grateful for the contrast of this experience. And so as I was sitting in that energy, this portion of the message, I got an image of one of those, you know, those like things that are outside of places when they open, the little wiggly guy, the air guy, you know, and he's like full of air and he's just like, woo, like that, right? I was seeing that as the soul, right? The soul was just like, woo, yeah, I'm free, right? But the body was the potato, and it was grounding at the bottom, right? It was the anchor for the soul. And the soul was just shouting, and it was so sweet. It was just doing this little wiggle, like, dance, you know? This little, like, airman dance, and floating and fluttering and frolicking and doing all of the things, all the moves, but still grounded in one spot, right? Still grounded in this experience. And so I was getting, you know, like just a really cute visual of that. And then I was just thinking about the paradox that you are, and that you know, really truly it's just a balance and it's a unity. People call it a paradox because they're like, oh, it's this and it's that at the same time. Yeah, you are floating, you are on cloud 9, you are in a whole different dimension, you are, you know, out of this world, but you're still in your body and coexisting with your soul in your body, right? And co-creating your experience. Boy, this was the coolest visual, because I love those things, and I love to dance, I love to move, I love to sing, I love to shout, I love to, you know, just channel all kinds of strange energies, whatever. Especially when I'm by myself. When I'm by myself, I'll be acting a fool. A fool. Or in front of my kids. Like, my kids, they've seen, you know, every shade of Candice, everything, every dance, everything. And now they also get to see me integrate these things, which is what you have done. And you're doing it not only for yourself, but for your kids, for 10 on the timer, for the future generations, setting your soul free and showing everybody what it looks like, how you can be free to express yourself and be your soul while still maintaining that grounding and appreciation for this experience. So you're amazing. Also, another thing that was coming through was spine movement, winding the hips or the spine, kind of doing that kind of stuff, and isolations. Like, you know, I mean, if you know how to dance, or, I mean, for me, it's natural. I don't know if it's because I'm like Latina and whatever, if it's because of where I grew up and what I learned, because it was a little, you know, yeah, but it's like isolating your hips, right? And so it's like, if you're doing that, continue doing that. If you're not 11:11 on the timer, maybe this is a call for you to begin to loosen up in your spine. I don't know who that's for, probably not for everybody, but it could be for somebody. So there's that, and that's where like belly dancing comes in, or well, there's all kinds of different dancing that where you move your body different ways, right? So yes, also music. There was a lot of music coming through, and the song by Meghan Trainor, Better When I'm Dancing, that came through. So, and it also had like a little bit of island vibes. So I don't know, whatever kind of music you need to listen to get your body moving and your spine, you know, flowing and stuff, is going to just like enhance your experience, is what I was getting. So there's that. I love you so much. You're amazing, and you're beautiful, and you're needed, and you're powerful, and 12:12 on the timer. I love you. If you'd like to book with me, check the description. You'll see some options, or if you'd like to donate to my channel, also in the description, you'll see my donation options. And yes, love you.